Once, in a time now softened by memory, there lived a boy named George. He called a small, remote village home, a place far removed from the frantic pulse of the city. George owned no shoes, and his wardrobe knew nothing of the crispness of new fabric. His shirt was a map of tears, and his trousers were worn thin with holes. Yet, within George, there burned something indestructible. A dream. Every day, George trekked 5 long kilometers to reach his school. The journey was a trial of dust and jagged stones that punished his bare feet. Yet he walked it without fail. George didn't just want to learn, he wanted to invent. He dreamed of forging something that could ease the burdens of his people. Specifically, he wanted to build a lamp. His mother spent her days selling sweet potatoes at the market, but their home was always surrendered to the shadows once night fell. George longed to gift her a light knot of flickering flame, but a lamp powered by the sun itself. He became a collector of the forgotten, scouring the trash for copper wires, discarded radios, and spent batteries. Under the cover of night, he would sit outside, hunched over his makeshift workbench, but his first attempt was a failure. The battery hissed with smoke, and the heat scorched the paper on his table. He tried again. The second model refused to hold a charge. He tried a third time, only to watch it shatter into pieces on the very morning of the school science fair. His classmates' laughter was sharp and unkind. "You should stick to selling sweet potatoes like your mother," one boy jeered. "You'll never amount to anything," another added. The sting of their words brought George to the verge of tears, but he refused to let them fall. He did not retreat. Instead, he sought out the butcher for old newspapers, devouring stories of the great inventors who came before him and filling a weathered notebook with his observations. He sought counsel from an elderly village electrician, a man who saw the spark in the boy's eyes. "You truly want to learn, don't you?" the old man asked. George nodded firmly. "I want to help my mother." The old man smiled, a quiet knowing in his eyes. "Then do not stop." So, George continued, he worked with scrap metal from broken fans and fragments of junk. He ate sparingly, his hands were perpetually stained with grease, and his eyes grew heavy with exhaustion, but his heart remained ablaze. Then, a shift in the wind. The head teacher entered the classroom with an announcement. A wealthy merchant is visiting next week. His company is offering a prestigious prize to find the next generation of inventors. The room erupted into a frenzy of excitement. George remained silent, retreating to his seat at the back. It was Maya, his friend, who approached him with a gentle, encouraging smile. "Try one more time, George," she urged. "This is your moment." George looked down at his hands, the small cuts, the dirt beneath his nails, and he knew she was right. That night, he returned to his craft. He gathered the fractured wires, the shards of glass, and the temperamental batteries. He studied his notes, adjusted the connections, and waited. The small lamp flickered to life. It stayed on for an hour, then 2, then 4. It worked. On the day of the exhibition, George stood before the merchant and the judges, his hands trembling as he held a modest box. While others showed colorful drawings or toy cars, George stepped forward. "This is my solar lamp," he whispered. He flipped the switch. The room was suddenly bathed in a warm, steady glow. The judges exchanged glances of pure astonishment. The merchant stepped closer, his gold watch glinting. "Where did you find the components for this?" "In the trash," George replied simply. A profound silence fell over the room. Then the merchant smiled.
Music licensing.
"This," he said, "is exactly what we have been looking for." George won the prize. Soon, the newspapers told the story of the boy who found light in the garbage. The merchant's company granted him a scholarship to a premier academy. But the greatest reward was seeing his invention illuminate his village. Now, children could study after sunset, and mothers could cook in the light. And George, he never stopped building. A note on the journey in this life: you will witness many falls. People stumble once, twice, or many times. They fail, they are mocked, and they are told to surrender. But the true victors are not those who never stumble. They are the ones who rise every single time they hit the ground. Perhaps you have started something that fell apart. Perhaps the voices around you have whispered that you aren't enough. Perhaps life has grown heavy. But if you hold on to that belief deep within you and find the courage to try again, you are far more powerful than you realize. You do not need a fortune to begin. You only need the resolve to keep going. Learn, build, move forward, one step at a time. No matter how many times you fall, stand up, wipe away the tears, mend what is broken, and start again. In the end, the most transformative words a human can utter are, "I will not give up." If you persist, one day the world will look at you and say, "This is what we were looking for." Keep going. Keep the dream alive.